This will be after the battle with Adam. As Adam was defeated, Charlie and Vaggie would look at each other, excited to start a new future. However, they had to rebuild the hotel. They had to rebuild everything. When Sir Pentious gone, Charlie was a bit sad. Sure, she had hope now. Sure, her father supported her. But was it really enough? As the days passed, Vaggie and Charlie would still stay close, but they were both sad after what they thought happened to Sir Pentious. However, something would happen. Emily would come down with Sir Pentious from heaven. As Sir Pentious would look at Charlie, he would say, "Hi." As Charlie would say, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, you were redeemed." Everything seemed perfect. As Sir Pentious would talk to Charlie, they would get along more. As Sir Pentious would thank Charlie, and Emily would say, "We're ready to spread the news and to get more people to be redeemed." Charlie would then decide it, as he would invite people to be redeemed. However, as the months passed, things were going pretty well. And the V's kind of backed off after seeing how strong Charlie was. And in this timeline, we're going to say Lilith wouldn't cause any trouble, just for the sake of argument, even though that's very unlikely. Just go with it for the video. However, there was still a big question, as one day Lucifer would visit Vaggie and say, "We need to talk," as Vaggie and Lucifer would start to walk out. As Lucifer would then look and say, "So, Vaggie, can I ask you a question?" Vaggie would say, "Yeah." When two girls are together, who asks the other person to marry the other one? I mean, is it the one with more power? Is Charlie going to ask you to marry her? And if so, when is that going to happen? Vaggie would say, "We've only been together it's been around a year, which is not too long for royalty here. Usually people get married much sooner." Vaggie would say, "Listen, I doubt we're going to get married that soon." As she blushed, "Why are you even asking?" "Because I'm worried. Everything has to go perfect for the wedding. You know? Oh, by the way, when you have your bachelorette party, please don't go too crazy." As in Vaggie says, "We're not even getting married yet." Lucifer would say, all right. "Wait, I see what's going on." Vaggie would say, "What?" Lucifer would then say, "Oh, I see what's going on now." Vaggie would say, "Yeah, thank you for supporting me," but Lucifer would say, "You don't think I'm an ally? I support all of you. Let me get this straight. It doesn't matter who you love, you know? Love is love, and besides, I'm excited for my daughter. Let me be a part of the wedding." "There is no wedding yet," Vaggie would say, as she sighed and walked into the hotel. As then Lucifer would walk out. As Charlie would say, "What was that about?" Vaggie would blush and say, "Well, it's your dad. He was pestering us about when we were going to get married." Charlie would say, "What?" Charlie would then blush, as she couldn't believe this. "Marriage? What?" Charlie would say, "Is that so?" Vaggie would say, "Yeah, but that's a long ways away." "Yeah, it is, but you'd be open towards it, right?" Vaggie would say, yeah, as they held each other's hands. It felt nice. As then they would get up and continue throughout their day. However, as things continued, a few more months would pass. But little did they know, something was going to happen, something they wouldn't like. As we cut to Lute. Lute wanted revenge. Now that heaven was letting in sinners, Lute was angry that she couldn't do the extermination now. In fact, Sarah would want to, but she could never get people on board with it. They lost so severe, heaven's politics changed, and it was no longer in their favor. They could try to win it back, but that would take a long time. Lute needed revenge now. So Lute came up with a plan. As Lute would wear a magical outfit, disguising her as Charlie. As we cut to Vaggie, Vaggie's going out getting groceries, as suddenly, Lute disguised as Charlie would walk up to her and say, "Vaggie." Suddenly, Vaggie would look behind her and say, "What are you doing here, hun? I need your help, quickly." As Vaggie would follow Charlie, but then suddenly she would turn around and turn into Lute, as she would grab Vaggie and say, "Now it's time to bring my plan to action." As a day would pass, Charlie would begin to get nervous because, well, Vaggie didn't show up. She was nervous that something happened to her. As then, something would happen. She would suddenly get a note from Alistair and say, "This is bad, Charlie. I don't know where they are. I just found it. Someone gave it to Rosie, and Rosie gave it to me. It seems like they don't want to be found." As it said, "We have Vaggie. Announce on the news that you'll end the hotel project, or that." Charlie would then panic and cry, "Do I have to give it up? Do I have to give up the hotel? Vaggie, I want to save you, Vaggie. I love you more than this hotel. I'll give up my dreams just to keep you there. Just to keep you there." As Alistair would sing, "No, don't give it up, Charlie. Your dreams are important. Vaggie wouldn't want you to give them up. Besides, there's a way to track her down." Charlie would say, "How?" Lucifer would Then we cut to Lute and Vaggie. As Vaggie would wake up tied up, Lute would walk up to her. As her arm was healed, Vaggie would say, "How'd you do that?" "I had a friend up in heaven, but she refused to help me after that. I'm all alone. No help. However, I have discovered something." She'll pull out a magic item. As then Vaggie would say, "What's that?" "It combines my DNA. I'll combine my DNA with Charlie's, and I'll have demonic and angelic power. And with her power, I will defeat Lucifer." Vaggie would say, "Can we talk about this? Listen, Can it? You spared me. You looked at me and said, you'll live only because I let you. Only because you're inferior. Only because I give you the right. That was insulting. This is my revenge. She'll find me soon enough. And when she does, I'll strike." As Lute would hide in the shadows, waiting for Charlie to show up. As then Vaggie says, "Do you even know what thou do? Combine your DNA with her?" Lute would say, "I'll find out." As Lute continued to wait, Vaggie would then sigh. As then, we would cut to Lucifer. As Lucifer was sitting in his house, suddenly he would get a knock at the door, as it was Charlie. Charlie would say, "Can you track down Vaggie? Why? She's been kidnapped." Lucifer would nod. As then, Charlie and Lucifer would go out to find Vaggie. Eventually, though, Lucifer would be able to find her. As he went there, no one else was there as he walked in. Everyone was being careful, but then suddenly Lute would appear behind Charlie and inject her with a needle, as then she injected into herself as she began to laugh. Lucifer said, "What did you do?" Lute would then say, "I upgraded myself, made myself better, made myself stronger," as she began to laugh, but then she turned into goo. As Vaggie would say, "What happened?" "She combined her DNA with someone else. Do you know how DNA works? This isn't some movie or TV show. DNA is very fragile. You mess with it, and it's not a good result." Lucifer would say, "Alright, unless you're a severe scientist and you know how to mix DNA, don't do it." As then they all left, Charlie would look at Vaggie and say, "I missed you, Vaggie. And I know we've only been together for a year and a half, but..." Charlie would get on her knees. "Would you marry me?" As Vaggie would say, "Yes, yes," as they hugged. And Lucifer would then say, "My daughter's gonna get married. Take that, depression." As weeks would pass, the ceremony was getting ready to start. As everyone was excited, as everything was getting ready, we cut to Angel. As Angel would say, "I can't believe they're both getting married." He'd be talking to Husk, and Husk would say, "Yeah, crazy, right? I mean, they loved each other, but I guess royals get married faster than normal people, honestly. I'm surprised they didn't get married right away. Of course, Vaggie's not royalty, so that's probably why." Angel would say, "Yeah. Do you think I could..." "Never mind." Husk would say, "What were you going to say, Angel?" Angel would say, "You think I could be with someone? I mean, watching those two together makes me so happy. Do you think I could be happy like that?" Husk would look at Angel and say, "I know you can." As the next day started, the wedding would happen. Everyone was on the aisle. Everyone was watching as Vaggie would walk down in a white dress towards Charlie. Charlie would smile as Vaggie would walk towards her, as they both held each other's hands. As Lucifer would do the ceremony, "Blah, blah, 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 blah. Do you, Charlie, take Vaggie to be your wife?" "I do." As then he would ask Vaggie the same question. As then they kissed, and they were officially married. It was finally time for them both to start a new life together. It was finally time for both of them to start something new, to be together. And that was what's important to them, as a new future opened up, and they can live together happily, as they knew that love conquered all. As Charlie and Vaggie were both beautiful wives who loved each other more than anything, and they were ready to start this new life. As a new life wouldn't be easy, but it was something more. As Lucifer would help support his daughter and his new daughter-in-law, as they both managed to fix up the hotel and managed to redeem sinners. And without Lute and without Adam, heaven wouldn't be able to fight back. It seemed like Charlie's dream was coming true. Charlie found true love, and she achieved her dream. Truly, a perfect life. Hey, I don't know why, but I recorded the, how my recording works is kind of weird. Sometimes I won't record what I say, but this is the third time recording the end of this video, where I just tell you all thank you for watching and give you a little bit of commentary. So yeah, I don't know if it'll even record this time. If it won't, then I'm just gonna cry. And I'm just gonna cry. Anyway, I hope you loved this video. I know I did. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I think ships like this are important because I'm paying. I don't know if you knew that, but I am. and I love to support this community. I think ships like this really do support the community, and I think movies like I'm in Love with Simon really do too. And it's great that we have a community like this. I'm glad I have a community in this channel, and I'm glad to be a part of the community that I am. And I think it's important for us to come together. That's one of my favorite things about Hazbin Hotel, is that all the characters come together. And that's very important. And my favorite thing is not the plot. You know, it's not the background, it's not the action, but it's the characters, how different they are, the story that they tell. And I know you could say that for a lot of shows, and that's a good thing. You know, characters are the most important thing, in my opinion, because if you watch a show, you want to have a character you like, or a character you really hate and you want him to fail, you know? Or a character that you kind of don't like, but you kind of do, or a character that you start out hating, but then you like later on, or vice versa. Characters tell stories, and that's very important. If you want to make a show, a book, a movie, or whatever, you have to show them the character, unless you make a what-if story, because everyone already knows the character, so you just say, what if they did this, or what if that happens? And that's the type of channel that I have, you know? And that's the cool thing about what is because everyone already knows the character. Everyone's already introduced to him. So the question is not how are you going to make this character likable, it's how are you going to make the character unlikable, or how are you going to change the character in certain aspects. How are you going to make them do this or make them do that, or just add another character and see how they react. It's very important, character development, you know, one of the greatest things of storytelling. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know I did. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. And I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing night. And I hope you just go out fantastically. Also, it's October, so it's Scary Movie Night. What's your favorite horror movie? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah. Also, do you have any questions about my channel? I might do a Q&A later, but I don't know. Peace out.